This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks lose to the Boston Celtics 123-110. But of course, the Knicks did not play their top players in this particular basketball game. Kind of, tit for tat with the Boston Celtics, a little bit of gamesmanship. You know what I mean? So the Knicks, who they start? Dante DiVincenzo, Quentin Grimes, Jericho Sims, Mitchell Robinson, and Deuce McBride.
Yes, sir.
Right? That's the Knicks starters. You would say 3 of those players are going to be rotation players. Right? Mitchell Robinson, Quentin Grimes, and Dante DiVincenzo. All of those guys, rotation players. And to be honest with you, in that first quarter, those rotation players played nip and tuck for a little while, right? They played up tight for a little while. Obviously, the Celtics had more talent out there on the floor, so their talent's going to overtake the Knicks, right? Third quarter, the Knicks make a run at it. I think they get it to 10, maybe 8. Ultimately, the Celtics beat the Knicks 123-110. But I think there's some good things that you can take away from this basketball game. Right? Definitely some good things to take away. Quentin Grimes, 22 points tonight for Quentin Grimes. All right? 7 for 12 from the three-point line for Quentin Grimes tonight. Mitchell Robinson, 12 points, 7 rebounds. He only played 20 minutes. Jericho Sims played 32 minutes tonight, 2 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists. And we actually seen Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims run a fast break. Deuce McBride, 16 points, 6 assists, 4 steals for Deuce. Right? 6 for 18 from the field, though, 33% from the field, 25% from the three-point line. Dante DiVincenzo, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Didn't really shoot the ball well, though, for Dante DiVincenzo. Tony, what was your thoughts on tonight's effort from the Knicks? The Knicks played, they did what the Boston Celtics did. Well, let me ask you this first. How much do you think this was gamesmanship, right? Tit for tat. Oh, okay, you didn't play your guys. We're not going to play our guys either. We're not going to let you get any scouting in.
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah, you're going to have to go to the film if you... Well, first, salute Sim. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Blackest Time. Yeah, you're going to have to go to the footage, the game footage of, us playing the other teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We didn't get to play your top guys. You didn't get to play ours. We'll see you in game 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
I like it. I mean, I knew Randle wasn't gonna play. He said that in the beginning of this preseason. So I wasn't I was expecting actually Brunson to get maybe 21, go 7 minutes, 14 minutes, 21.
Mm-hmm.
But so that was a surprise. But yeah, the effort of the guys who played, those rotational guys, the situational guys, I think I liked it all across the board. Everything except the win.
Yeah.
I mean, or us not getting the win.
Yeah.
Fournier had some moments. To add to Sims' stats, he had at least one monster block, which was beautiful. It was great to see Grimes step out and be more assertive. I don't know if that can translate or if that is something that we won't see with the starters. Maybe that I don't know how you feel about that, but it would be nice to see him I want him to take 8 threes a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if it's 12, that's even better.
Yeah, I
But
think it was good for him to get a chance to play without those guys being on the floor, right? Maybe it helps you find a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? But he got a chance to play without those guys being out there. So you knew he was going to get touches. He took 12 shots tonight. As a matter of fact, he led the Knicks in shot attempts tonight with 12. With 13, I'm sorry.
13.
Wait a minute. No, he didn't. I'm sorry. Miles McBride did. He had 18. And then it was Quentin Grimes. Yeah, Deuce. But Deuce also played 32 minutes. Quentin Grimes played 26 minutes, 5 seconds.
I mean, it's not the minutes. 18 shots for Deuce. That's salute to him, man.
Yeah, I mean, the thing,
showing some confidence.
you know, the thing with Deuce has always been if he could find a way to score, if his offense was better, you know what I'm saying? You know, he'd be, and he could get himself on the court, he would definitely be an All-NBA defender. You know what I mean? Because the kid can flat out just play defense. I think his defense has gotten better since last year. But we'll get to Deuce. I want to finish talking about Quentin Grimes.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
Then we did Queen's Court yesterday, and we was talking about him fitting that starting unit better. Even though us wanting to see more aggression from him, more assertiveness, and then questioning in the second unit, you know, will he still be that passive, and that being the reason why he would fit better in the second unit in the starting unit than the second unit. But today, him playing without those starters just opened my eyes to the possibilities of him being more assertive when he gets some minutes without those guys. You know what I mean? If he gets minutes with some of the second unit guys.
The only thing is if he got minutes with the second unit, if he played with the second unit, he'd be playing with Quickly. And Quickly like really dominates the ball. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I think I would need to see him out there with Quickly because IQ definitely dominates the basketball. You know, a lot. He dominates the ball a lot. As a matter of fact, when he's out there, it's almost like get the ball to IQ, give it to Q, give it to IQ, give it to Q.
Well, I think the reasoning for that is because he's probably. I mean, I know how you and I both feel about DiVincenzo, but Quickly is probably the only guy in the second unit that could break his man down without having to have a screen. You know what I mean? Like he's the only guy that could kind of create without someone else helping him. At least that's the way I view it.
Right. Yeah. I get it. And you know, Quickly just has that type of mindset, you know, and, you know, guys like Dante DiVincenzo, he's still getting used to everything, you know, so I do still believe that as time goes on, you'll see him on the ball a little bit more. He's not going to be always on the basketball, right? He's not going to split those duties 50% with Emmanuel Quickly, but I think you'll see it more, you know, as time goes on and he gets more comfortable, you know, just more comfortable with his role, more comfortable with the team, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, Quentin Grimes, I do like that he was more assertive. You know, I still felt like he, you know, some of his shots came from kickouts and those type of things. But I agree with you. I do want to see him shoot like 8 3-point attempts per game. You know what I mean? Don't hesitate. Just let it up there. That's what the Knicks need from Quentin Grimes. That's what they need in that unit. They need him to shoot. That's going to help to spread the floor. You know? And listen, he shot 58% tonight. He's an accurate shooter. He's an accurate 3-point shooter. I still think his game can evolve. I don't know if he's going to end up being strictly a 3-and-D guy. You know what I'm saying? Just a straight-up 3-point shooter. But I think his game can evolve. and I'd like to see it evolve. But if he's going 7 for 12, if he's going 5 for 12 from the 3-point line consistently throughout the season, I'll be happy with that. You know what I mean?
You know what I noticed tonight with the volume of those shots is him working with JJ Redick has really helped him. And what I noticed is he squared up on every shot, even if he was coming off a turn, even if his body was angled, he was still squared up to the rim. You know what I mean? When on the release, and that was something that JJ talked about, and so to see it come to fruition with the volume of shots in this game,
right?
It tells me, you know what I mean.
And you know what? That's something that is critical. I talk about it with my players all the time. Square your shoulders. That's why Jamal Crawford was a good bad shot shooter, because he could square his shoulders to the rim. When you can square your shoulders, you increase your chances of making shots. Even if, you're off balance or whatever it is, you get your shoulders square, you can make shots. So that's a great thing for Quentin Grimes. That's a great thing. I just want to see him. Hopefully tonight was good for him to see his shot fall, get to touch the ball more. Take 13 shot attempts. Hopefully this will jumpstart him as we see tomorrow night, right? As we see that dress rehearsal tomorrow night. Yeah. Were you surprised that Tom Thibodeau went with Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims at the 4 and the 5?
I was, but then I'm like, Sims has the experience, or you know what I mean? Like, who else would it have been? It would have had to have been a Roby, who is another guy who played well today. It would have had to have been Nathan Knight. You know what I mean? Like, so just because he's the guy that Tibbs is more familiar with, and is more familiar with what Tibbs wants, it made the most sense. But I was surprised at first, like, yeah. I mean, I was excited actually, because a lot of people didn't want to see that again. I did.
Yeah. I still don't know. I mean, obviously, Tom Thibodeau feels like he's going to do something with it, right? And somebody tell Almighty Finesse, to go get faster internet, right? Somebody tell this man to go get faster internet, because the show has been going. Unless he's trying to say the show is corny. And if you're trying to say the show is corny, then get up here on the mic and show us how to do it. You know what I mean? But, I mean, Tom Thibodeau, I don't know how much we're going to see it during the regular season. I don't know how much we're going to see it during the regular season, but I think Tom Thibodeau is trying to watch it, see it a little bit. This is the second time versus the Celtics that he's used it. So I don't know if there's, do you think there's a reason he used it twice? Like really used it twice? Obviously today, the Knicks didn't have their guys out there on the floor. But do you think there's a reason he's used it twice versus the Celtics? Does he see some kind of matchup that will benefit the Knicks?
The Celtics are playing big now. You know what I mean? Like they're starting the season with Horford and KP, as opposed to one of them starting. So, wait, did they do that today? Or did they? No, they didn't. They went the opposite way today. They had Tatum at the 4 and KP at the 5. And who was it? Who started off guarding Tatum? My gosh.
I'm not sure. Oh, you mean from the Knicks?
Yeah, to start the game.
Oh, I don't.
It was a guard
from the Knicks.
Yeah,
Quentin Grimes.
Yeah, Grimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grimes started off guarding Tatum, which was just like, so it kind of threw me for a loop, as like, all right, I see why you're doing that, but that means theoretically there's a mismatch somewhere else.
Right.
And at that point, it was Sims guarding the perimeter.
Yeah, because the Celtics went with Drew, Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, the first game they had Drew off the bench.
They had Drew off the bench. Right. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do in game 1 versus the Knicks. Be real interesting to see. But, Tom Thibodeau's going to that Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims lineup where I'm surprised.
I mean, I like it better with Hartenstein.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised that he hasn't used. Oh, you guys can hear that. I didn't have it muted. So we got a phone call. We got a caller on the line. Next time I'll make sure I have the ringer muted. But we got my man Spree on the line. Spree, what's popping with you, brother? I'm chilling, man. I'm doing good. Everybody heard you calling in.
I don't hear him. I don't know if the chat can hear him.
Oh, they said they don't hear. Oh, let's see. Oh, maybe I was the only one that heard it. I'm bugging out. Almighty Finesse got me bugging out.
Hey, it's the preseason. This is why we do it early.
It's preseason. Spree, what's popping, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I was happy for Grimes. I was happy he played well and got to touch the ball a lot and feel good about himself. That's really good coming into the year. I think Mitch looks really good. Mitch looks to me like how he looked in that Cleveland series. Like he just looks like he's ready to go. Hartenstein, I love Hartenstein. I still think Hartenstein is a very smart, gifted player. Sam, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm crazy when I say this? Do you think Julius Randle needs to play more pick and roll basketball?
Oh, without a doubt.
Would you like to see him play a little more in the pick and roll?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Times that we've seen Julius Randle roll to the basket out of the pick and roll, it's been effective. I don't know why we don't go to it more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I watched all the Heat games again because I have no life. I watched it again, like this whole weekend. And I want to just make this point. Julius Randle, especially in the regular season where the defense is different in the playoffs. Let's be real here. We play defense in the regular season because we have Thibodeau, but other teams don't guard like they do in the postseason. So, like Randle, I want his threes. I want his transition.
Mm-hmm.
I want everything that Randle can bring to the game. Mm-hmm. But when it slows down in the playoffs and Randle's just on the perimeter, I don't like that. I think Randle needs to do more pick and roll, get to the line, and use his body. I think he should be doing more pick and roll in the regular season this year.
Yeah, I think so too. There's one major issue.
Okay.
Mitchell Robinson.
Right.
And I'm not blaming
That's
Mitch.
True.
I'm not blaming Mitch. Right? So if you're going to use Julius Randle in the pick and roll, you've got to have some lineups out there that does not include Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle. It's got to be Julius Randle and someone else who can spread the floor. So you're talking about probably Isaiah Hartenstein, right? Who can go and be outside that 3-point line. That way it opens up the floor so that Randle can roll. Because right now, Mitchell Robinson is down in the dunker spot and his defender is waiting for somebody to roll. This is the reason why they use Mitchell Robinson in the pick and roll rather than Julius Randle, because Julius Randle can spread the floor, Mitchell Robinson can't.
I got you. Like, so you have to play different lineups. I'm just saying, Sam, there has to be more of it in his game in the postseason, because I didn't love. He took, like, obviously he missed a couple threes that I think he can make, but I do not see any pick and roll at all in the playoffs in that Heat series, and I think it can benefit him. I think he can be a good pick and roll player. Like you said, when he's done it, he's had success.
Mm-hmm.
One other question for you on Brunson. Obviously, I love Brunson. Do you think Jalen Brunson is a good passer? or can be better?
I think he's a good passer.
Okay.
I think he's, from what I've seen, unless you've seen something that, I should be watching or looking for, but from what I've seen, he seems to be a good passer. He can pass the ball up the floor. I think his passes are pretty much accurate. What do you mean by good passes? A good passer?
So, I don't think he's okay. Let me put it this way. I'm not saying he's a selfish player. I think he's obviously his gift is his ability. He can't be stopped. Not many people can stop Jalen Brunson because of all of his craftiness, and he's a great scorer. And he's willing passer, Sim. He makes the passes. I'm just saying, do you think there are times where he can see the floor a little better? That's what I mean. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm talking about
seeing
elite
the floor.
level, seeing the floor.
I don't know if he sees the floor like you're saying at an elite level. I would agree with that. Right.
Do you think that that's the next step for him?
It might be due to his height.
It could be. That could be too. I don't know if you're ever going to see him be like Chris Paul.
I don't need him to be Chris
straight
Paul,
up.
but I think what I'm trying to say to him is I'm not saying because that's obviously his gifts are different. Everybody's different. Everybody has different strengths, and obviously you can't take away from Jalen what makes him great. And I'm not saying he's a selfless player. I'm just saying, do you agree though he needs to work a little bit better at seeing the floor at times for Mitch, for Grimes, just a little bit better?
Yeah, I think
would you agree with that?
I think he could improve there, but I just don't know if that's in his DNA to be that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's. I think he's your floor leader, a floor general, but I don't foresee him being the guy that creates the shot for someone else, or creates the opening for someone else, or creates the play for someone else. At times, not all. I'm not saying he can't do it. At times he does, but
he does.
Also, on nights when he's not shooting the ball well, you've seen him in double-digit assists. So.
Yeah, I'm Sam. I'm throwing out hypothetical. I'm just trying to prepare for anything. If they pick him up full court, I'm trying to win the whole thing. And I'm just saying, I'm working on Randle. Let's get more pick and roll. With Jalen, obviously he's a great scorer. He took over Game 6. He had 43 points. That one pass, I don't blame him because he literally was the reason. If he got any help, we would have won that game.
Yeah.
I think he needs to see that pass to Josh Hart. I think even though Josh Hart couldn't make a shot.
I'm gonna be honest. I think he saw it. I think he didn't want to pass it. I think he saw it. I don't think he would, because Josh Hart wasn't letting him go. He was hesitating. Josh Hart was hesitating. So I think
Dante is on the floor though. I think Dante may be on the floor in that situation.
Yeah, maybe. And then also though, let's see how it looks this year, because he's with these guys a whole nother year now, right? He played with them last year. Their chemistry is going to get better. So maybe now he knows where guys are going to be a little bit more, more instinctively. The first year you're playing with guys, it may not be instinctive that all right, I don't even got to look. I know exactly where RJ is going to be because this is where he is all the time. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that luxury last year. He may have a little bit more of that this year. So let's see how it looks this year.
I'm with you, man. I think it was his first year, and I don't want to hijack the show. I'll just leave you with this. Let's be honest here. Mitch is a very valuable piece. I thought to Brunson's credit, I thought the second half of the regular season last year, I thought they found Mitch better. The whole team did. Even Jalen. I would say Jalen, I think, found Mitch a little bit better. The first half of the season, Sim, I wasn't happy with how we were finding Mitch with those lobs. I think there were games where I was not pleased. The chemistry is better. I want to make Grimes feel a little bit more a part of it. It can't just be the Jalen Brunson show every night. I think he knows that. And also it's on Randle, too, to make the right plays. But I think Jalen Brunson is a smart enough player, Sim, to do whatever the game needs. I'm just saying I want his vision to be a little bit better. That's all.
Yeah.
A little bit better. Just a little.
Yeah, no doubt. Spring,
all right, man.
I appreciate your time, brother. All right, peace.
All right, man.
Gregory Lee said, that's BS. Jalen can see the floor. Remember, he was playing basic point guard in Dallas before he became who he was. Just because he was playing basic point guard doesn't mean he was seeing the floor great. And actually, Luka was playing more point guard. Like, Luka was the primary ball handler. Really. And, Jalen Brunson came off the bench. And then when Luka was out, you seen Jalen Brunson doing what he does with the Knicks now. I think Jalen Brunson is more of just a natural scorer that can do a lot of other things out there on the floor. But I would say that his facilitation, seeing the floor, is going to be better this season because he's going to know more of where Randle, RJ, Grimes, where these guys want the basketball. So I think we'll see more of that.
I'll say two things. I feel like, number one, we were a horrible shooting team, so that probably took 2 assists a game from him.
That's true.
Or just off that. Secondly, he's so good in the paint that I think for him it has to be a conscious effort. Like you said, when he's not shooting the ball well, he tends to have 9-10 assists in those games.
Mm-hmm.
I think at that point it becomes a conscious effort. He does what he does. He still breaks the defense down. He still gets in the paint, but he knows at this point, let me facilitate.
Right.
So I think if he wants to, he can become a little bit more even keel on when to score and when not to. But when he has to, you know what I mean? When he got to go into his second bag, which is his assist bag, he can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's going to go to the scoring bag first.
Yeah, yeah. And to be honest with you, I think the Knicks need him to be a scorer for this team. I think they need him to be a scorer. You look at the Celtics tonight, they shot a lot of threes. Right? They shot a lot of threes tonight. Let me see. They shot the ball at a 44% clip from the three-point line. They were 23 for 52 from the three-point line. We know who was on the floor for the Knicks. Does that give you any cause for concern just looking at the Knicks and their three-point defense last season?
Yes and no. Because I feel like it's actually all right. When we talking about the Celtics, to me it's a weakness for them.
Okay.
I feel like they're gonna live and die by the three. They led the league in 3-point shooting last year, 3-point makes.
Mm-hmm.
At 16 per game. They were 16 for 29 in the first half. You know what I mean? So I mean, now that starting lineup they ran out there with, all 5 players can shoot the three. But are they going to shoot 16 for 29 or above 50% for the game? Are they going to even shoot 40? Would you say 44%?
Like 44%
in a whole game? You know what I mean? So to me, it is a weakness of theirs. The problem with the Knicks is how much have we increased our 3-point percentage, right? How much have we gotten better there? That's yet to be seen. We shot the ball well tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so can we increase our percentage and can we limit just get a little bit better? You know what I mean? I don't think it was a lot of missed rotations tonight, but some of the shots was just contested.
Yeah.
Some of the shots Tatum was just shooting over his defender.
Yeah, the Knicks themselves were 19 for 48 for 39% from the three-point line. 48, that's a lot of three-point shots.
Yeah, and we were high early in the year. I don't know where we ended up, but early in the year we was leading the league in 3-point attempts.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about Isaiah Hartenstein, and then I see Keyshawn asked, how did Roby play? We'll talk about Isaiah Roby in a second. Isaiah Hartenstein, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. This guy, I feel like the more the Knicks allow him to do, the more production they're going to get from him. right? He was 1 for 3 from the 3-point line tonight. Hopefully he continues to shoot the 3 ball because the Knicks need a guy from his position that can spread the floor, right? What's your thoughts on Isaiah Hartenstein? And then we'll get to Isaiah Roby, and we'll get to some of these other guys that's fighting for a spot.
I agree with you. The more he plays, the more we're gonna see from him. I said it early in the week. I feel like he looks comfortable now. You know what I mean? Like it could be more freedom. It could be just him more accustomed. Whatever it is, he just looks very comfortable out there. And it's tough because you could literally, if you're watching the games, you could literally make an argument for he or Mitchell Robinson to get more minutes. You know what I mean? Because they bring totally different things and impact the game so like tremendously. You could argue for either one of them, with and it's different aspects of what they bring. So I like what he hit another 3 tonight. You know what I mean? Like it's looking a lot more comfortable. I think we'll probably only get maybe one a game.
Yeah,
I'll be comfortable with one a game,
right.
averaging. You know what I mean?
But I think that's a big. It's such a big key, being comfortable. You know what I'm saying? If you're comfortable, it becomes easier to shoot to shoot whatever shot you're shooting. It becomes easier to shoot it because you're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about whether or not did I take the right shot? Is this guy looking at me sideways because I took that shot? You know what I'm saying? Because you're comfortable. And it goes back to the whole continuity thing. The Knicks need Isaiah Hartenstein. Like I think he's one of the guys where it's a big key for him. He's a big key for the Knicks. Because he's the only center that can at least be somewhat of a threat from the 3-point line. And obviously his passing gives the Knicks a whole nother look. That's why I really want the Knicks to utilize Isaiah Hartenstein, utilize his passing, utilize his shooting. If they don't, then they're just using the guy wrong. Tom Thibodeau's just using him wrong.
You know how many turnovers he had?
Hartenstein had 2 turnovers tonight.
And how many assists?
2 assists.
Yeah. They was definitely playing the backdoor cuts and like they knew what to look for from him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only worry I have is he's gonna have to be more precise. You know what I mean? Like especially as the league gets accustomed to what he's looking for, and minimizing him as a shooting threat.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's gonna have to stay active at the 3. You know what I mean? In the mid range, like put them up, make sure they know you're a threat, because that's gonna change the way they defend you. Because now they defend in the pass a little bit. Yeah. But I like what I'm seeing from him.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of these other guys, man. Isaiah Roby. What do you think about Isaiah Roby? Do you think Isaiah Roby is going to be able to 11 points, 3 rebounds tonight, 3 for 4 from the 3-point line, 4 for 6 overall from the field?
The way he played tonight, it looked like he was comfortable as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It didn't look like he was pressing. You know what I mean? Like he was 2 for 2 from 3 in the first half. Came out, hit another one in the second half. No hesitation. He had a couple of strong rebounds, couple of strong rebound and a put back, not a putback dunk, but put it back up. You know what I mean? I think he dove on the floor a couple times. Like he was very active. Like he did look like, I mean, he was here last year at the end of the year, right? But he looked like he was familiar with the team.
Yeah, I mean, he was here, but I don't even think he was with the team.
No?
I think he stayed
I know he wasn't at the playoffs, but I thought he
yeah,
was.
because they
He was
signed
on.
him like the last day of the season or something like that,
Okay.
and then and basically signed him to be able to just stay home,
Okay.
but knowing that they would have him coming into camp this year.
Well, he looked comfortable. Another one that looked
Yeah.
comfortable. Like I was surprised. Like he didn't look pressed. He didn't look, you know what I mean? Like he was fighting for his NBA career.
Mm-hmm.
And that may just be his demeanor too, because he does seem like the guy that, he's not animated. He'll
Yeah.
get an and one and be calm and walk to the line. So it may be that too, but I liked what I saw from him. He was definitely very active. He affected the game while he was out there.
Yeah. Once you're in camp with guys and you've been in practice for a while, you get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And it will allow you to play better basketball. And then if coaches are telling you like, yo, you need to get out there and bust your ass if you want to get on the floor. You know what I'm saying? That'll make somebody work real hard. Like, all right, this the only way I'm gonna get on the floor. It's the only way I'm gonna have a chance to get one of these roster spots. Let me go out here and do my thing.
Well, Jeffries looked like I think he was productive and he had moments, but he looked like he was playing for his NBA career.
Yeah,
You know what I
he
mean?
is.
Like where Roby, it just didn't. He looked like it almost looked like he knew he had the spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, which again, that could change your demeanor too. You may be more
Right.
comfortable
More comfortable that way. Yeah.
if you know your spot is secure.
Yep.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
and the thing with DeQuan Jeffries, he's a little older, right? Little bit older. He is battling for his career, and he's battling to show someone. I mean, he knows the Knicks got a million guys my size that can play defense too. You know what I'm saying? So, am I really gonna have a chance? You know what I'm saying? Am I really gonna have a chance on this squad? So he's looking to show the NBA that, hey, you know what I mean? I'm worth checking out. You know what I mean? And listen, he played well. 3 for 6 from the field, 2 for 5 from the 3-point line for DeQuan Jeffries. 8 points, 3 assists. Decent stat line for Jeffries. And of course, we know we can play some defense. I don't know if he's, I don't think he's going to end up on a roster. But we'll see. Charlie Brown Jr., he hasn't played the entire time. Has it? You're muted.
He didn't play tonight, but he got minutes the previous game.
Oh, did he? You got some minutes down the end of the game?
I remember them saying his name, so
Okay. I remember them saying his name. I don't know how many minutes he got.
It was at the end. It was
but he only got 1 minute and 49 seconds tonight. I expected to see more from Charlie Brown. Like, not more from him, but I expected to see him more. You know what I'm saying? Because, he was the best player in Summer League. And maybe you're catching a guy at a point where he's ready to contribute in the league or something like that. But, I mean, maybe they feel like they've seen enough from him already in practice. Who knows?
And last year, right?
Now he played for Delaware. I think he played for the Blue Coats, the Delaware Blue Coats or something. And they won a championship.
Well, he wasn't on our Summer League last year?
He might have been on the Summer League last year. I don't know. But, I'm just surprised that we didn't see more of Charlie Brown Jr. We've seen, we've seen Ryan Arcidiacono tonight.
A lot.
You know what I mean? 0 points, 4 rebounds, 15 minutes.
Sim, I ain't gonna lie. This might be the only blemish on the front office and like the decision, because I know there's a lot of you guys feel like he's gonna be on that roster. I'm sorry.
I guess the only thing I can say is going back to what DJ Shuttle said. what if having him here is more of a chemistry builder than anything else? Forget about the roster spot. He's the 15th man. Is it more of a chemistry builder?
Bro, he he's like, it's gonna sound bad, but he's like a poor man's Ron Baker.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, like, he gonna practice hard, he gonna play hard, but the limitations.
Ron Baker. Who did we draft Ron Baker over? Was he a second round, or was he he was undrafted, right?
He was, yeah. He was undrafted. I think he ended up being a steal however we acquired him. Whether
ended up being a steal, and then we gave him a,
the contract. That was that.
That Ron Baker contract.
Yeah, he had somebody's pictures or something.
Oh man, Ron Baker. Other guys, Nathan Knight didn't play much, 3 minutes and 53 seconds. But Nathan Knight is on a two-way anyway. You know what I mean? So you already know he's going to be on the roster, why it makes sense for guys like Isaiah Roby and Ryan, DeQuan Jeffries. It makes sense for those guys to get burned so that the coach can get a good look at them, because in the next few days, it's time to make cuts. Right? Because, you got to have your official roster ready by the time the season opens up. I mean, so in the next few days, let me see. I forgot the exact date, but it's within the next few days that, they gotta start making cuts. Let me see. Key dates for this season. Rosters must be set by October the 23rd. All right, so they literally have 5 days to figure out who they're keeping and who they're going to cut. Who do you think, just based on what you've seen, who do you think they're going to keep? Who do you think they're going to cut?
Who are the two-way guys?
Nathan Knight's a two-way. Dylan Windler's a two-way. And the young kid is a two-way.
Mark. So I think the two-ways stay on two-ways. I mean, do they have to make any cuts? Because I thought...
they got 20. They got 20 players on the roster, so they gotta cut some. They gotta cut down at least 3.
Wait, they got 20, but 3 of them are two-ways, and those could stay.
Right, those can stay.
So they gotta get rid of 2. Right? Is it 15-man roster?
2. They gotta get rid of 2. They gotta get rid of 2.
And the choices are out of whom?
The choices would be out of Isaiah Roby, Charlie Brown Jr., DeQuan Jeffries, and Jacob Toppin.
If I'm guessing, out of the 2, I'm thinking they keep the bigs. I'm thinking Jeffries is gone, and who's the other wing?
Okay, so here we go. So actually, hold on. Let me back this up a minute. DeQuan Jeffries and Isaiah Roby, they're not Exhibit 10 players. They're actually roster players with non-guaranteed contracts.
Non-guarantees.
All right, so at a certain point,
they got to make a decision.
Right, the Knicks have to guarantee those contracts. I don't know when that date is. And if they guarantee those contracts, then they'll make $2 million. Each will make $2 million. Okay, so now you got Ryan Arcidiacono, Charlie Brown Jr., Dwayne Washington Jr., who we haven't seen a lot of, and Jacob Toppin. Right? So when you look at those guys, those 4 guys have to do something to replace Isaiah Roby and DeQuan Jeffries if they want to get on the roster. Because right now, these guys, they have a roster spot. It's just not guaranteed. So the Knicks could waive them. Maybe they have to pay them $150,000, $500,000, something like that, and then pick up one of these other guys. So I don't know. These guys are on
I
Exhibit
mean,
10
I ain't gonna lie.
contracts.
I hope they keep topping,
Mm-hmm.
and even if it's developmental project, whatever, I do hope they keep topping. Um, I let Ryan go personally, but I think the consensus is he's gonna be there.
I mean, they might they might mess around and just we're gonna stick with the whole. We're gonna stick with the whole. We're gonna keep the continuity together. We're gonna take Ryan and Jacob Toppin because we know who they are. We know their families. Boom, 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 and all of that. That's how this team has worked.
That's true.
That's how this team has worked. I don't know if that's exactly what's gonna happen, but that's how they've worked. We'll see.
Put Ryan on the coaching staff, man.
There you go. And now the Exhibit 10 guys, and this includes Ryan. He's an Exhibit 9 guy. They can still. I think the Knicks have the first right of refusal, or whatever, for them to play for Westchester. So, they still might be around. You know what I mean? And if there's an injury or whatever, these guys can get pulled up. Yeah. I know we didn't have the normal guys out there, but did you see anything rotation wise that stuck out to you?
Mm, no, I'm going with my early prediction that I think it will end up being closer to a 10-man roster or 9-man roster with a 10 man, the 10th man rotating. So I think we'll see Grimes. I mean, excuse me, we'll see Sims at times.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll see Deuce at times. I think we'll see
Fournier.
Fournier, at least likely, but you know what I mean. I think we might see him at times as well,
Yeah. I
but
think.
not nothing consistent. You know what I mean? Nothing
Right.
consistent.
Okay.
Depending on matchups, depending on the need in the game.
Yeah, I can see that. I think times that you see Deuce is going to be when one of these other guys have foul trouble. Right, Quickly's in foul trouble. DiVincenzo's in foul trouble. Anything like that. I don't know if you see
It,
Deuce playing in the G League this year for real.
yeah, I
I think he's.
retract my
I think he's.
I said maybe, but I retract that. I don't think so. I think he's shown too much growth, to be
Yeah.
honest, and a rare occasion. But if there's a occasion where Brunson is off
Mm-hmm.
and is a liability defensively on that particular game, I could see Deuce coming in as a I mean maybe we're down a lot of points, I don't know, but I could see him coming in as a defensive guard, especially if Quickly happens to be on that
Mm.
particular night. You know what I mean?
You
So
think Tibbs?
now
You think Tibbs will pull Brunson like that?
I think I mean he set all the starters last year, one game.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's yeah. I think that's why I say a rare occasion, not something like
Yeah.
reoccurring. You know what I mean? But in the rare occasion that this is what's going on,
Yeah.
I can see it.
Okay. The only thing that struck me about the rotations is, the starting of Sims and Mitchell Robinson together, starting them at power forward and center. That's the only thing
What
that really.
what do you think would have been the alternative though?
Hartenstein
Because well, starting Hartenstein
instead
and
of
Mitch,
Sims. Yeah.
I think that would have been too risky.
You think so?
I think I not because of fit, because of the liability if they both are
Defensively?
in foul trouble. Now it, you know what I mean? Like now you relying on Sims. If both those guys are in foul trouble, you know what I mean? Like now you relying on Sims in the unit and all small guys. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Maybe Toppin or one of the guys that didn't play early gets to play. That's the only reason why I think you could put Sims in there if it's not working quick right away, you figure something else out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But and he could pick up a foul or two, Sims, and then not be detrimental to, you know what I mean, to the rest of the game.
Right. No, I get that.
Or your game plan.
I get that. I mean, I'm just thinking about tonight, where they probably, wouldn't have cared if anyone got in foul trouble or this or that. Because we haven't seen this preseason, I don't know how much we've seen it last year, but we haven't seen Hartenstein next to Mitchell Robinson.
That's true.
Right? We haven't seen, I don't remember seeing it, where you're playing Hartenstein at the 4.
It's very rare.
Yeah, where you're playing Hartenstein at the 4, Mitchell Robinson at the 5.
I think we've seen it this preseason, and I think we've seen it very, very briefly last year.
I'm interested in seeing more of those two guys on the floor, because I think that you could find ways, where you could get Hartenstein passing to Mitch, maybe a couple of oops from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Top of the key or whatever it is, because he can pass and get Mitch. Here's some ways to get Mitch into the offense, right? Get Mitch running some backdoor cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Hit Mitch with a backdoor screen, let him go backdoor. You know what I'm saying? Or if you send someone like somebody like Jalen Brunson to set a screen for Mitch. Mitch is in the corner. Jalen Brunson sets the screen. And if they do switch, now Mitch got a little guy on him. Hartenstein dumps the ball inside. You know what I'm saying? Or, anyone. R.J. Barrett got a smaller guy on him. You know what I mean? You set that screen, get a switch. Now, the thing is, will those guys play Mitch out by the three-point line? Probably not. So it might be hard to get that backdoor screen off. But there might be some things you can do, some actions you can run.
Yeah, but Mitch could do the screen. He's, you know what I mean, and then go, pick and roll, and he does the pick and then rolls.
He could. I mean, there are ways to make it happen. There are ways to make it happen by moving him around. But you got a guy in Hartenstein who can pass from the top of the key. He's tall. He can see over the defense. He can pass from the top of the key. He's a decent passer. You figure out a way to get some actions to see if you can get Mitch cutting to the basket. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple of backdoor screens so he can catch a couple of oops. Other ways to get him involved. I would like to see the two together on the court a little bit more, but
maybe now with it being more acclimated for Hartenstein to run plays, maybe we see it more now. You know what I mean? Like we didn't really see that too much until later in the year last year. So maybe now that it looks like it's going to be a staple in his offense. Maybe now we do see it.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see. Any coaches' decisions? I mean, I guess the biggest coach's decision.
That's where I would say Sims. That's where I would say starting Sims.
Oh, that's the biggest. Yeah, I guess that's the biggest coaching decision for this preseason game is.
Or
not
sitting the guys in general.
Sitting the guys in general. Getting ready, mindset already on October the 25th. Both teams. So they played them twice in preseason. Neither team had their main guys playing. Right? Both teams doing a little tit for tat as far as, I like the gamesmanship. You know what it also tells me, though? A couple years, in years past, Tom Thibodeau would have been like,
I gotta figure this out now.
Yeah. Now, like this sends a message to me that we feel like we're on par. So we're not gonna, we really want that first game because we feel like we're on par with you. So we're playing, we're gonna go tit for tat, and strategizing for the season, blah 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 blah. Right? In the past, it would have just been like, yeah, whatever. We got to try to get our group together.
Yeah, they'll play 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? They playing the back.
But they're playing because we got to get it together. So I feel like it does kind of signify like, the team feels, the team feels like, the player, the organization feels like we're on par with these guys. Doesn't mean that we are, but I think they feel like that. We're on par. We're truly competitive. We're not guessing anymore whether or not we are a playoff contender every year, this, that, and the third. They feel like we are.
Confidence is 80%.
Confidence is 80%, baby. 80%. 80%. Any takeaways from your biggest takeaways from tonight's game?
Probably Quentin Grimes, just the form looking good. He took advantage of the opportunity with the main guys out. Deuce and Sims are really, even if they still situational, they gonna be ready when their number is called.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll say those three things.
Yeah. I think for me, Quentin Grimes is obviously a big takeaway. Just hoping that this can jumpstart. It'll jumpstart his season and getting him more comfortable with the team. You know what I'm saying? More comfortable with that starting five, shooting more shots. All of that. All of that. All right. The Knicks, 16 fast break points to the Celtics, 10. Okay. I'm going to continue to take away the Knicks in transition this year because I feel like what I've seen so far in the preseason has been really good as far as transition is concerned. And I want them to continue to play, this type of game where they can get the ball, push it up, and attack in transition, right? 16 fast break points for the Knicks, 10 for the Celtics. If the Knicks can continue to attack in transition, that can be a big staple. That can, that can be something that really does. We talk about their offense. That can add to their offense, being able to score in transition effectively, right? Because now teams, if they know you can run, teams are like, they send less people to the offensive glass, right? So now you can do a better job rebounding the ball too, defensively, because they send less people to the glass. Getting out in transition and being able to run does a lot, does a lot. So I want the Knicks to continue to do so, winning the transition battle tonight. I think that's something that I take away from the game. I said Quentin Grimes, that's something that I take away from the game. And I feel like, obviously we knew what was going to happen because they were playing the Celtics starters, but that first quarter, they battled. And you had 3 rotation guys out there. And Quentin Grimes, Mitchell Robinson, and Dante DiVincenzo, and then Deuce, who is, a situational guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sims is situational, and they were able to compete for at least a little while. At least a little while. I take that away from it too. I'm encouraged about the season, man. I can't wait to get the season started. I do want to remind people and let people know tomorrow we'll have sign up, so that you can sign up if you want to attend, our little season kickoff at Legends on Saturday. It's going to start about 6:00. Just a little get together of people, just to hang out, have a good time, kick the season off, free of charge. So if you want to attend, the only reason that you got to sign up is so that we know how many people to, let them know at Legends, hey, this is how many people are attending. But also, we're going to be having a watch along for opening night, October the 25th at Legends. All right, there'll be signups tomorrow for that. Not signups, registration, whatever you want to call it. Sign up sounds like, hey, signing up for the kickball game. Registration. You know what I mean? So that you can go ahead and register yourself, so we can let them know who's going to be there, and yeah, we can kick this season off together, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a dope time, and then of course November the 1st. We're going to see the Knicks versus the Cavs. Expecting a fun, exciting game and a win. That'll only be the second home game for the Knicks, I believe. Yeah, Second home game.
Almighty Finesse in the chat spreading rumors.
What do you say? Free food for everything. Right. He's lying.
Make sure we clarify that.
That statement is as good as his internet. He's lying to y'all. Don't believe him. Don't believe him. Bring your money to Legends and buy the food from Legends, y'all. All right?
It's good food. It's good drinks. Tip the bartender.
No doubt. But ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. I appreciate your time. About 12:48 in the morning. I don't know. We didn't get a chance to do a Losers Lounge. I don't know if, we can get set up in time to do one. I don't know what you think, Tony.
We'll double up tomorrow night.
We'll double up tomorrow night. And tomorrow night, the Knicks play the Washington Wizards at home. Then they messing me up because Nas, is going to be on Amazon Prime. Nas and Wu-Tang is going to be on Amazon Prime. I want to watch that concert too, but I might just watch the replay so we can get the post game in and the Losers Lounge and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Might be a long night. How long is the concert?
When I went to it here in D.C., it was 2 hours.
Oof.
Like a 2-hour concert, yeah.
Well, we'll break that down another day.
Yeah, it's like if it starts at 11, it's gonna go till 1. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be the concert's in Seattle.
Okay.
And then Amazon Prime has 2 Chainz hosts it, like just a live concert series that they do.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's gonna be it's gonna be dope. That's going to be dope. But ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Appreciate your time. And peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You want to hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.